In the world of law enforcement, there are some cops who go down a dark path. Indeed, they betray the trust we place in them. So this video is all about corrupt police officers who thought they were above the law but ended up behind bars for life. Let's find out what these officers have done to deserve a life behind bars. First up, let's meet Michael Dautro, a former Edison police officer whose deeds left a community in shock. In 2013, he filled jugs with gasoline and set fire to the house of Edison police captain Mark Enderko. Dautro's goal? To kill Enderko no matter who else got hurt. Seriously, you are a cop, man, in case you forgot. Enderko's wife, kids, and even his 92-year-old mom were inside the house at that time. But luck was on their side. They all made it out unharmed. It was revealed that he decided to burn down the house just days after being told he needed a psychological evaluation. No doubt he had to visit there, because he had a history of too many excessive force complaints. His wife couldn't even restrain her anger in court, labeling him a monster. But wait, you'll know who else is a monster in this case. Now, of course, he didn't get away with it. He confessed to his crimes, admitting to arson and attempted murder. His punishment? A massive 20-year sentence for trying to take a life, rightfully so, as attempting to take someone's life is nothing short of a first-degree crime. Moreover, 10 years for official misconduct, 5 years for trying to mess with a witness, and 18 months for plotting revenge. Those are some hefty sentences, and you know what? He didn't even show any remorse during his trial. Instead, he quit the police force while the trial was ongoing. Can you fathom his audacity? But authorities dug deeper and found 17 more charges against him. He had also bought drugs while on duty, which is a huge breach of trust. He and his wife even slashed the tires of a co-worker who had complained about him. They used police records to find that co-worker. It gets worse. They found brass knuckles, a fake weapon, and a club in his police bag. His wife wasn't innocent either. Rather, she was the second monster we were talking about. She got charged for lying during the investigation. It's like they were living a double life, one as officers of the law and the other as criminals. Bottom line, Dautro has to serve 17 tough years before he can even think about parole. Next corrupt officer is Joseph Medzanowski. This former Chicago police officer earned the dubious title of the most corrupt police officer by a U.S. attorney 2 decades ago. His dark legacy was deeply entwined with a drug sales ring involving various gang members and other corrupt officers. It's a story that sends shivers down your spine. In 2001, Medzanowski's reign of criminality came crashing down when he was convicted for selling illegal substances, extorting money, and even worse, revealing the identities of undercover cops to gang members. This was a man who spent 22 years wearing the badge, receiving 59 citations for bravery and arrest. Who knows, maybe this will ignite inside him the fear of never getting caught. But here's the catch. While he was being celebrated, he was also betraying his own department and his city. He was aiding and abetting illegal organizations, distributing controlled substances, and supplying gang members with ammunition. Again, the double life that few could have ever suspected. Then, Medzanowski's day of reckoning came when he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for racketeering and conspiracy. In 2020, this crooked ex-cop tried to reduce his sentence under the First Step Act, signed into law by then President Donald Trump in 2018. However, his plea for relief was denied in 2021 by a federal judge. The judge's words were harsh but justified, stating that Medzanowski had led a double life, deceiving even those closest to him and causing immense damage to countless lives. Agreed, but hey, corruption doesn't end there. Allow me to introduce you to the last cop, Sergeant Wayne Jenkins, whose misdeeds were so outrageous that they inspired an entire TV series called We Own This City. Jenkins led the infamous elite police unit known as the Gun Trace Task Force in Baltimore, a unit that was supposed to combat crime but instead turned into a den of corruption. Their mission? Taking illegal weapons off the streets. But shockingly, they went in the opposite direction. They actively participated in criminal activities. They stole people's weapons and sold them to criminals. They robbed dealers and even planted false evidence on innocent individuals. It was a reign of terror wearing a badge. Then, in the year 2018, the hammer of justice finally came down on Wayne Jenkins. He was arrested and pleaded guilty to robbery, racketeering, and civil rights violations, the latter for planting illegal substances on 2 men back in 2010. For these outrageous crimes, he was sentenced to 25 years behind bars. He even attempted to plead for a lighter sentence. However, the judge was having none of it, not mincing the words, referring to him as a narcotics stealer with a police badge, and stating that he had injected poison into the very community he was supposed to protect.